We got started in partnerships before partnerships were in vogue, so to speak. We didn't know what we were getting into or what we were starting down the road. We just took the first step. And for us, it was a trip to visit one of our own who was over there. We had a missionary apprentice in Mongolia, and we decided her dad and a couple other guys and I would do a men's missions trip.
The men's trip turned into a team of 19 with lots of women who invaded their men's trip. We caught a vision for Mongolia and for the people there. It was really the place where I first felt called to be a missionary with the Alliance. That was influential in my life, to be able to see the work of the Alliance overseas. And I know that as people from our church have gone, it's increased their heart for Mongolia and passion for ministry and for missions and for going themselves.
One of the things we have in our churches are people say, well, missions are okay for you and others, but I don't really think we need to be doing all that. But we took a couple of people on the first team that had that attitude, and they came back going, wow, now I understand why we do missions. And just giving people opportunity to go who just sort of want to check it out or see. It's been really wonderful. For some of the people who were on the trip, it was watching the kids climbing in and out of the manholes that were sleeping in the sewers. For others, it was seeing some of the lostness of man with people sleeping on the streets, drunk and having no jobs at all. Just being there and seeing that the world is not quite like Wisconsin. Relationships, what it's all about, is people putting faces and stories to other people. Over there, they feel like they have somebody that cares about them. Here, we feel like we're part of what they're doing over there.
You need that support and connection from people back home, and you need to know that there's people back home that care about you and that love you and that support you.
It's not just a partnership with the missionaries, it's the partnership with the churches there. One of the stories I always like to tell is on the first team we had a fellow who lost his job a few days before the trip started. And so as we were sharing prayer requests with the churches there, they asked, what can we pray for? So Jerry naturally shared that he needed a job when he got back. And we sort of went on with life, and Jerry went back, I think 2 years afterwards, and the first question out of many of the church people's mouth is, have you found a job yet? And we just had failed to communicate an answer to prayer, which was a real learning lesson for us. It was just excellent reminder that we do have relationships, and those relationships require communication and caring enough to respond and give them the answers to prayers.
Find an area or find a missionary or find a country that God has laid on your heart, the heart of your church, and it might start with just a few, like it did at our church. Just a few people who got together and said, hey, this is something that we want to do. And if you have the heart, if you have the desire, God is going to take you from there, and God is going to use willing vessels, and He'll take over, and it's going to be a wild ride. So hold on, we're still trying to keep up with what God is doing.